Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Random Rants with Random with your host today, Random. So on this last weekend's ride on Cane, we got a flat tyre. So I'm in the process of fixing it. This tyre's nearly dead, but it's got some life in it, and if it needed a new tube and it was too bad, I was going to save up and go tubeless, but that was going to maybe be in a couple of weeks. So to keep riding, I pulled the tube out and it was actually just one hole from a pinch flat. So I repaired the tube, and in the previous video I was showing using Cane's center stand to break the bead on the rear rim. I mentioned that if I got to this stage of putting the tube and tyre back on, I'd show you one little tip that I've got for putting tyres back on that I don't see anyone else do, and it avoids getting pinch flats. So I'll show you the two secret weapons you need. One is a rubber mallet. I'm sure lots of people know this technique, but every time I see someone change a tyre, they always use levers, and you risk pinch flat or pinching and putting a hole in your tube again with the levers, and everybody knows that's a very common problem. And the other secret ingredient is a bit of soapy water. And if you're out in the bush and you don't have soapy water, just hack up a big loogie, big spitball, have a little sip of water to dilute it a bit so it's nice and wet and slippery, and spit on your rim, and that will lubricate the tyre enough to do this. But I'm just going to use soap because I haven't got many loogies to hack up at the moment. So the trick is, you don't use tyre levers. Use tyre levers to get it off. If you put another hole in your tube getting off, then so be it, but you already got a flat. But getting it off is not so bad, but always getting it on seems to be the problem. So with this technique, you start at the valve end, so it keeps the valve centered in the tyre, and then you start working it on with your hand. Work the tyre on with your hands as far as you can, working evenly from each side, making sure your tyre is centered in the valley so it doesn't get too tight. Sometimes I put my elbow on that one and it stops it coming back out. You'll get to a point where you'll get one in and the other one will stop coming out and it gets a bit tight. As you can see, a little bit over halfway. So then in comes the spray. Just a little bit of lubrication. If you've got proper tyre lube and all that, that's even better again. And then the trick is with the mallet, try and hold that side in. You gotta get, it's a bit tricky. Right, so this is hard right now, so I'll also show you if you're out in the bush and you don't have a rubber mallet, got my sprocket off. This is good, it's got a cush drive hub. Start with, so I got my big boy boots on. This is what you do out in the bush. Work it on. Hold it on with one boot, work it on with the other. You see that? and double ka-chow. Tyre is on, and absolutely no chance of a pinch tube in there. So there's the go, guys. You don't use levers. You need levers to get it off, don't get me wrong, but you try not to use levers to get it back on. Rubber mallet is the best, and a bit of soap, but when you're out in the bush, it's a spit on that tang. I can't believe I just did that. Anyway, so that's it. Time to pump her up and see if my repairs work for the day. Hopefully me and Kane will get back to keeping it real on the back wheel very soon. And as always, you guys, keep it real on the back wheel.